All right, y'all. So this is my personal investment property. Just want to show the aftermath, if you will. So this can happen to anybody, right? We managed the property appropriately. They didn't take care of it. They caused over $8,000 worth of damage, correction, that sort of thing. I have an $8,100 deposit, but unfortunately we had to evict them. So I had a 3-month deposit. They knew the buzzwords. They were saying I have a disabled son, I have a disabled mother, this and that and the other thing. Courts gave them leniency when they shouldn't have. Up here, I think what was happening there is, you can see when we get upstairs, is that the kid had, I think, an autism or something like that, and they were just missing the toilet and pissing, and so it traveled over here, I'm guessing. Could be a bad wax ring, I don't know, the tenants never reported it. I'm guessing because they didn't want me to come out and see how bad everything was. So, broke this towel bar here, not that that's a big expense, but it all adds up, right? Yeah, just gross painting. I mean, and these people, mind you, these people lived here for a year. You see it? The haze on that, how dirty that is? Yeah. I lived here for a year. We had gone through, touched up all the paint. Everything looked brand new, pristine. We had the carpets cleaned by Adolfo's cleaning service. Everything looked brand new. They had put a double-ended deadbolt on here. The reason you don't want to do that is if there's a fire, there's no quick way to get out. You can't just you gotta do a thumb turn, right? I'm guessing they did that because their autistic son, he would go out. I got calls saying that they were, their kid was over there at 4 o'clock in the morning or whatever. So oven's not too bad. You can kind of see it here. It's gross. Need to clean all the doors and paint the entire interior of the whole place, right? The grout's super dirty. Everything needs to be cleaned. The lawn's just overgrown. I mean, not a big deal. They definitely didn't take care of it. There's a bunch of weeds in the front, so I'm gonna have to set up service for that. This was painted before they moved in. It was completely painted before they moved in. It was a year. They were here for a year. This is probably the most disturbing right here. So this house, for those of you who don't know, is 3 years old. It was built in 2022. We closed July 27th, 2022. It's almost been 3 years to the day that we closed on this house. And there's blinds that are broken. Obviously the walls look terrible. This is our story. Yeah, your story is you're not going to pay the rent and you got evicted. So I hope you like that. So I don't think that they ever cleaned this shower. Can you see this? Absolutely ridiculous. I don't think they ever cleaned it. This is brand new carpet. This is 1-year-old carpet right here. The previous tenants had torn up the carpeting a little bit. In a rental, I don't recommend carpeting, period. This door's broken. Come on now. They left a bunch of stuff behind. We already cleaned all that out. I mean, at the end of the day, too, they tried stalling. They were like, oh, we're not going to have the rent until the end of the month. And I was like, okay, I'm sorry to hear that, but here's your 3-day eviction notice. And they're like, what? Jeremy, you said it was okay. I'm like, I never said it was okay. I said, okay, I got your message. So it's important when you have a tenant that's not paying, that you serve them the proper notice right away. Now, with this property, you see all the water splashing back here. Yeah. With this property, we had my renter's insurance program in place. So the nice thing is that even though they caused in excess of $8,000 worth of damage, I'm getting a check from the insurance company that my company partners with for $8,200. So it pretty much covers the cost of the renovation work, of the painting, everything. You know, we're gonna have to do probably a couple of coats of Kills, maybe magic eraser to get that off first. They had, not a big deal, but again, it all adds up. They had locked this. That's interesting. They had locked this. So there's a PIN number. I don't know the PIN number. As far as I know, I just need to replace the thermostat now. So yeah, not a big deal here. See, there's a whatever. So, okay. This is super good. I mean, this, like, there was zero water. I know this happens over time. I've seen, you know, plenty of properties like this. But it's just like, you know, just so gross. You can kind of see here. So here is what I think happened. You can see that that's rusty. And that typically happens from the ammonia in urine. You can see how it's very yellowed. So I think what happened was, when the kid was upstairs, just wasn't paying attention. He was pissing on the floor, or the trim, or whatever. It was going over here. Water was creeping down and getting on the ceiling of the garage. And that's what caused that green mold there. Carpet. And this is after we cleaned it up too. There's a bunch of spots of drywall that I didn't really like zoom in on, that they, you know, put a hole in the drywall. This is like a big spot that they had patched. Not sure why they were making so many damn holes in the drywall. And this partially is my fault, because I didn't come by and check on the property. Okay. I didn't come by and check on the property with our properties that we manage. We come by every 6 months, we check on the property. So we know if people are tearing up the home. You know, I was treating this a little more relaxed because I'm like, oh, it's my property, it's no big deal. You know, I can fix it. I didn't think that they would cause this much damage. Absolutely incredible. Again, all the carpets are trashed. I brought my carpet cleaner over here. He's like, brother, these carpets are dead. I'm like, can you just make them prettier? He's like, yeah. But you should just replace them. So the blinds are about 3 years old. Bought them and installed them shortly after we moved in. I haven't even tried to put those back in place yet. So, yeah. This is it. So now you're like, hey, Jeremy, if this can happen to you, why would I hire you to manage my property? Because this is what we specialize in doing. We can't control the narrative. If they want to spray paint stuff on the walls, as you can see, that they try to cover that up. If they want to punch holes in the walls and stuff like that, we can't stop them from doing that. But we have the resources, the tools, the talent to get the property flipped, cleaned up, painted, touched up, and put back in working order. So everyone thinks property management is easy, and you hear the horror stories as well. But part of the problem with property management is when things go awry and then you run into all these issues. This was one of the hardest evictions I've ever been a part of, and partially because it was emotionally draining on me. And Regina really stepped up. She's our head, our lead property manager, and she really stepped up and brought calm to the chaos and helped me emotionally through it. She's like, hey, we're gonna get this done. Don't even worry about it, blah, blah, blah. Let me take care of it. And she did, you know? So it's always different when it's your investment property, when it's personally your money. So this was definitely an experience for me. So yeah, if you have any questions about this, or this is the kind of stuff you don't want to deal with, please give us a call. Reach out, let me know what you got going on. Even if you haven't purchased your first investment property yet and you're just getting started, if you need us to look at comparable rental properties to give you a rental analysis or rental valuation of the property, that's a service we provide as well. It's completely for free. So if you have a property that you're looking to put up for rent or looking to purchase and you want to rent it, we'll give you a free rental analysis to know, so you can make the numbers work. So let me know if you have questions or issues or comments about the way they left this freaking house. Yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Thank you for watching and have a great day. Bye now.